I can hear y'all. This
Oh,
is Rich Silvet.
oh, okay.
What up, Rick? All right.
What up, y'all?
All right.
What's going on? What's
All
going
right.
on?
And nothing chilling, man.
All right, all right, all
All
right.
right.
All
Rick,
right.
Yeah, yeah.
welcome to the For What Review. I'm your
Right.
host, Little Sis, since 86.
And I'm your
Okay,
host.
sis.
I'm your host, Almighty Q. Welcome to the For What Review.
Right. I'm glad to be here. Glad to
All
be
right.
in y'all's presence.
Thank you
All
for
right.
coming on. Thank you for coming on. So,
Yep.
Rich, I know you got a lot of history in the music business, man. Let's give us a grace of your who you are.
Well, my name is Rich Silvet. Right. Currently, I'm executive chef down here in Philadelphia, but I was raised and born in New York, born and raised. And I'm known for being Eric's older brother. And I've worked with everybody, as far as like being down on the tours and all of that. Um, did that for a good 15 years.
Mm.
All right.
And when you was on a tour, you were just with them, just hanging?
No, not really just hanging, man. I had a job. I took care of like the as far as their clothes and everything. I was more like their valet, took care of their clothes and made sure the stuff got, where packed up and everything. Nobody lost anything. Um, and I was their go-to guy in every state that we went to because I knew people ahead of them in every state that we toured in.
Oh, wow. Okay. And who we talking about is?
Eric B and Rakim.
Here we go.
I was down with Big Daddy Kane. I was on tour with LL, Houdini, Public Enemy, Dougie Fresh. Shit, and what was it? DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, all of those guys during the 80s.
Yeah, that was
You know what? What was your experience like going on tour with Eric and Ra?
Okay, let me tell you what happened, right?
Uh-oh.
Back in the day, I kind of fell off. I ended up, smoking the dragon, and I had to get out of New York. And leaving New York, I went down to Atlanta where my biological father lived. And while I was down there, I'm listening to the radio because this was right before Eric and them became on, because I had heard the 45 they had made of I Ain't No Joke. And I was like, damn, that shit sounds all right. But, like, how far is this going to go? I was, okay. So I'm down in Atlanta and I'm listening to the radio. I said, wait a second, man. They just said, fucking Run DMC, Eric B. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, right? So I called Eric's father up in New York. I said, hey, Lou, is Eric out on the road? And he's like, yeah, man, he'll be in Atlanta. I said, let him know. He said, Rich, man, they already plan on getting in touch with you. So what happened after that, we ended up going to the show and everything, me and my stepsister. And Eric, like they were doing their thing at night. And then, I ended up hooking up with Eric again that night. And we're sitting in his room. And he's like, yo, Rich, if there's anybody who should be out here enjoying this shit with me, it's you. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, yeah. I called up my pops, got home, got a ride back to his house, packed up my stuff, told my pops, I'll see you later, man. And it was ever since then.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like every day was Friday. And got paid for it.
Okay.
All right.
And you said 15 years. What happened after the 15th year?
Well, what happened was I actually came down here to Philadelphia and I hooked up with my biological brother, Dr. Levette. And he's looking at me because I was still dibbling, dabbling on, in and out of shit, and he's looking at me. We're having dinner one day and he's looking at me. He's like, yo, man, how long you think your luck is going to last? Because I had just got off the road with Kane. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you doing, man? And I said, well, I plan on going to Boston, with Apps and their crew. And he looked at me, he's like, yo, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you gonna stop if you're not on the road, you're doing bullshit. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so, man, one day I was supposed to go, I was living up in Buffalo with another guy and helping him take care of his legitimate business. And I happened to fly down, I did something with Kane, and then I was supposed to come back to Buffalo, but I missed my flight. So I said, hell, man, I'll go down to Philadelphia again. And I went down there, and my brother told me, he said, "Listen, man, I got to tell you something. I got a bad feeling about that, that Boston shit. Don't do it. Why don't you come down here and live with me, and I'll look out for you. Think about what you want to do." And so, bam, man, I came down here. Dr. Levette hooked me up, and there's only two people I actually killed for, because my parents are dead, and my wife wouldn't ask me to kill anybody. But it's Eric B, and Dr. Andrew Levette, because those two motherfuckers saved my life, man. They literally saved my life.
So what happened in Boston?
Huh?
So what happened in Boston?
Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, I never went up there. And next thing, yo, this is crazy. I got custody of my son, right?
Mm.
And I just, like, one day I'm reading the newspaper and I'm like, New York crew gets busted in Boston. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, these are the dudes I was supposed to go up there with, man. It was so crazy. Like, a lot of them did some funny stuff to get out of it, but a lot of those guys ended up going to jail for 25 years to life.
Wow.
One guy, he was a good dude to a lot of people, and they did him in, man. He's never getting out unless it's by appeal or something like that. They sent him to the max out there in Colorado. Yeah, it was crazy, man. So he got done in.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what school did you attend? Who did you go to school with?
Oh, who did I go to school with?
Yeah.
I attended William Cullen Bryan High School in Woodside, Queens. Eric went to that school. Play went to that school. All of those guys are from the neighborhood. Play, Kid, Kwame, all of them went to that high school. I'm a little bit older than them dudes, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are a couple other.
You look back then and say, oh, I had a lot of fun, but I'm good now. Do you say that?
I say that, dude. I say that all the time, man. I say it all the time. I mean, people don't even know, man. And I tell people, like, nah, man, y'all don't even understand. I said, man, we were living like kings, man. And you got to think, right? All of these, I got these dudes by about 8 years, 8 to 10 years. So these guys were like 17 years old. Rakim was like 17. I'm 27 years old, right? And I seen these other cats who became Harlem famous, like when the rap thing first jumped off, and I had to get out of New York. But when I came back to New York, and I'm up in Harlem with Eric, I'm like, wait a second. These boys is driving Benzes and shit. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. Then Eric got the Rolls Royce, and that changed everything up. Shit was nutty, man. Shit was nutty, yup. And I mean, every day was like Friday, man. I couldn't even tell. I mean, every day, man. I mean, and see, when we were on tour, Def Jam didn't book you in no bullshit hotels, man. I mean, we were staying in the most fabulous hotels. And it was really crazy, man. I mean, like, I was actually, and I'll take the fame to this, I was actually the first person on the East Coast to meet Ice-T. I don't give a shit what anybody says. And Ice, if you remember this, we were doing a show together. It was his first show on the East Coast. And he had that cop car. And I was getting Eric and them's backdrop, lined up and everything. And he came up to me, yo, I'm Ice-T. I looked at the motherfucker. I said, yeah, I know who you are. I'm rich, man. And like, I'm Eric's brother and shit, he's like, you think he'll mind if I leave this like here? I said, nah. I said, that ain't gonna make a difference. But I was the first dude to meet, and then the rest of that is history, Like he came back for the 30th reunion or everything. But yeah, man, every day was, I can't even describe like the time I had, man.
I can imagine.
You can just go back.
Yeah. I mean, because I would have did things a lot different. Because I had opportunities in my face.
That was my question. That was my next question.
I had opportunities that you would not believe in my face. And there were a few people who took these opportunities. Hopefully, I'm not gonna mention names. They had living in Alpine, New Jersey, and shit like that. Like, they had stocks in Def Jam and shit like that. And they're chilling out now. I'm still working. I mean, like I'm working by choice, but man.
I
Would you? Well, that would be my next question. But even though you had those opportunities, right? Because you know now that you had those opportunities, but the opportunity was in front of you at that time. What was the distraction?
Yo, man, the Lord of bullshit, the streets, man. And it's stupid because like I should have known better, but like to say like, yo, let me look. But see, I was in a different frame of mind too. I didn't care. I didn't care, man. I said, like the one thing I didn't want to do was go to jail. But if I died the next day, I didn't care. I didn't care, like as far as that was where my mindset was at. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do the things that I'm doing. I'm gonna keep getting down with the people I'm getting down with. And so be it. If shit goes wrong, it's gonna go wrong. But as long as I don't go to jail, I'm all right. And that, like that was like a self-destructive mode and stuff like that. That was me like being in a real crazy place in my life where I had everything going for me. Everything. Eric and all the new people I met, nobody was doing anything like to push me to the left, right? Everybody's trying to put me to the right. And I was still doing dumb shit, man. I mean, like unbelievable stuff, man. And that's what like if your mind ain't right, and and I'm kind of glad that I didn't take a couple of the offers that were, because I would have let people down. I would have let the people down, and they would have been like, damn, man, we gave this dude a break and he fucked it up like this. Yeah. But I'm happy now. Yeah.
How was it like being the big brother to like the whole crew?
Yo, it was crazy in a sense because I had always been like Eric, Anthony, and John's older brother. But to have like Rakim and his crew under me and stuff like that, not under me, but like to try to like, like to hip them like, yo, man, you need to do this, you need to do that. And where I try to put in their mind certain things about like what they should do, not with their cash because it wasn't my cash, but giving them suggestions and everything else. And like I said, I was able to go into places that they had never been before, and I was able to jump on the phone. And next thing, what they were asking for, poof, I had it right in front of them.
All right.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Out of all the places you've been, right? Would you say there's no place like New York?
Nah, there's no place like New York, man. No. And I tell you, you know what came close to it? I have to say like Miami, man, because like with Miami, a lot of people like in Detroit. I mean, but like as far as the fanfare and all of that, it's definitely Miami. And a lot of people didn't realize, like in Miami, the only difference during the 80s and 90s and stuff like that between them and New York dudes, it was like an accent. Because when we first came down, as far as like on tour and stuff like that in Miami, them niggas were rocking the same shit that we were rocking, except they had like a southern accent, man. And they were about having fun, just like New York. And I mean, Detroit dudes are the same way, but you don't have like the glitz and glamour like Miami had.
Right.
But there's no place like New York, man. Y'all know that. None.
Right.
And what was the streets like back in the 80s growing up in Queens?
In the 80s, okay. Well, I was in the Army. I got out the Army in 83. The streets were like, I mean, people were making money, like as far as doing things, people were making money. Everything was, like, I mean, it was in Queens, man, like everything was all right, man. I mean, like everything, people doing stuff on the down low. It's when like the crack hit, that's when things really changed, man. That's when it really changed, man. I mean, because you had dudes like, like that, like I say, when I got back to New York after, being on Exodus down in Atlanta, I came back, there was certain dudes doing stuff that I was like, wait a second, man. And I knew like the only thing that's hooking them up now was the money they were making and the people they could keep around them. But other than that, there's some bitch, you know, they made
that's all you say.
It did a lot of people, man. Like it got a lot of people through a lot of stuff, man, that you know that I knew like under pressure. Nah, they wouldn't have been like, you know, like if put under certain pressure, they wouldn't have been able to get down like that. Not like they were, but
yeah.
you know, yeah.
And what was your nickname on the street?
Oh, they used to call me 40.
40. All right.
Yeah. Or Rich, you know, Rich the bitch, or shit like that.
Oh, 40. All right.
Yeah.
Yo, I would have had tears in my eyes every time you did that shit.
Yeah, I mean, that was Eric and them's favorite thing when my back was turned. Where's that motherfucker Rich the bitch? Yeah, man. We had some fun.
And what part of Queens did you mostly hang out in when you hung?
Oh, we hung out in East Elmhurst because you got to think, right? We hung out in the Hearst because Eric had a house on 95th Street, right, where everybody would come through there. And you got to think, Kid and Play lived in our neighborhood, but Eric's house was the hub for like G-Rap, Polo, You Little Sis, and your crew. Yeah, like there was a lot of people. I mean, you know, a lot of people, up and coming people, would come through there, and like Buster and all of them dudes, Cameron and all those guys, and what's his name, Noriega, all them dudes, because they were from Queens, but they would gravitate to Eric's house because Eric was always, if he wasn't there, I was there. You know, like if we were hanging out, you know,
right.
And that was the spot to be. Yeah.
All right.
Any given day, you would see that Rolls Royce, and there'd be a crowd of people in that house.
Okay, right in front of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, man.
What was your worst moment and your best moment?
Okay, the worst moment was on my birthday, right? On my birthday, I can't remember. We were down south somewhere doing a freaking college homecoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the room was secure and everything else. So I put my jacket and Eric's MCM jacket down in this room, right? It was on my birthday. And like, mind you, they had gave out all of these tickets for free drinks and stuff like that. So I come back to the room to get Eric's coat, and everybody's, you know, telling me what they're going to do for my birthday. I can't find my coat, and I can't find Eric's coat. So, needless to say, I almost got my ass sent home. And Eric knew if he did that to me, I'd probably be like, you know, going back to some dumb shit. So he didn't do that shit, but I caught it, man. For about where it should have been the happiest day of my life, one of the happiest days of my life, that was the worst. But the best day, damn. Shit. Ah, man. Every day was after that, every day was the best day. I'm not lying, man. I mean, that was the worst day, but there was never, I'm telling you, man, because Eric, during the Follow the Leader tour, everybody was because that was a big fam, like, you know, all the groups were cool. And it was like, you know, we met other people. We met like Tone Loc. There was a few other artists that came on that tour that we met. And it was just a good time, man. And like Eric and Rakim, they never let you down on it. Like, you know, like if it was a special day or whatever, man, you know, Eric would look out, Rob would look out. It was crazy, man. You know, like these dudes, they were good guys like that, man. So it's never a bad day. We were always joking around, having fun. And never a bad day, man. Never.
Who are you still in contact with besides Eric B and Rakim?
Oh man, anybody who I see, like Charlie Mack down here in Philadelphia, Kane, which I'm going to his play in November. Shit, anybody who I run into that remembers me, no, wait a second. I'm in touch with a lot of people because of Facebook. Let me stop. I'm in touch with a lot of people because of Facebook, man.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, I give, people give me shout outs like on my birthday, like, or if they got a special event coming through, and I always holler on their line and stuff like that. So, yeah, as far as that's concerned, yeah, a lot of people, man.
Okay, that's good. Mika?
All right. So when did you first realize that Eric, was getting into the music business?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, right? This is what's really so crazy. All right. Eric was, like, he was working for WBLS. Like, they're traveling music where they would set up, like, give out shit and have music and stuff like that. And he was always telling me, like, yo, man, Rich, I mean, this is when I was fucking up too. Yo, man, I'm in the studio. I'd be like, that's good. I'm about to go get a blast. All right, Eric.
Right.
I'm on my way, bro. You got $5? Yo, here, Rich, here's $5. That type of thing. But yo, I had a water bed at my house. When that nigga said that, like, yo, man, I'll pay you for the water bed and all of that type of stuff, I said, this nigga got money. And I mean, it was just getting ready to jump off. They were doing, like, little shows like at the rooftop and stuff like that, and at the joint down in Manhattan, the Latin Quarter. That's when I knew they were going to jump off. And that's where I met Big and all of them, Dougie and all of them dudes, Supreme and rapping, all them guys from Brooklyn and stuff, 50 and stuff. Yeah, shut up, Max. Come on, man.
Max want to get on video too.
Yeah, I know, right? He better stay over there.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, all of them cats, man. And like I said, that was, like, I met some legends, like, who weren't into hip hop. I mean, they were on the fringe of hip hop, like 50 Cent, Rap, and Supreme. That was a whole thing right there. Meeting those guys and becoming friends with those guys. That was something else. Bill Blast, may he rest in peace, and Rap, may he rest in peace.
Right.
Those were some they were some dudes that were really, they had this shit, but those were some good guys, man. Some real good dudes. And Supreme is still out there, him and his wife Keisha and Quano. That's a good family. Yeah. To say that I'm still family with them. Yeah.
And what you think of this generation of rap?
You know what, man? Everybody needs to eat, man. But I really, something, man. I used to, think back when my moms used to listen to just our regular music, man. Shit, what is that shit? But I mean, like, it's kind of different, man. I mean, like, I don't understand, like, going into the clubs and, like, dancing to that shit. I mean, I don't know. I got a granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? And she listens to that. But everybody needs to eat. That's all I can say. And it's good for them. The thing about it is, the new rap wiped out the whole rock and roll, man. Yeah. If you really look at it, because, like, I work at a high school at night, and only people that I hear playing rock is sometimes these guys in the hallway, like they're like, when they're part of the band, like they might be, but the majority, man, like, rock and roll is gone, man. Like, and rap is all, like, that's what took place, man. Took over.
I think R&B too.
Yeah, R&B too, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. Because, like I said, man, they used to, like, ain't no more Keith Sweats, and, like, man, they got Jaheim, and, they're, like, you know what I'm saying? There's, like, think about that, man. 112, all them dudes, all of that's gone.
They really don't got no work. They really don't.
No.
If they do, it's out of the country.
Yep, that's right. It's out of the country. Right. And I mean, they could, like, people can make a fortune out of the country. Because that's where the true fans are at, out of the country.
Yeah. Have you ever went out of the country with them?
Let me tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you, right? I've been out of the country when I was with the Army on numerous occasions. I've been all over the world. But these dudes had never been out the country. We got to London, we had a ball. But I'm gonna tell you the funniest shit is when we went to Amsterdam, right?
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers had no clue. Okay, the first thing is we're gonna try brownies, right? And I knew what time it was with Amsterdam and these damn brownies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of us, I'm talking about LL Cut Creator, all of us, we all downtown Amsterdam, right? So we take these brownies. I said, yo, fellas, come on, man. I'm gonna show you where the girls at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of them taking them to the red light district, I took them to the blue light district. And that's where the trans at, right? And these dudes didn't know nothing about it. So we going down there. I'm ringing the bell and the drapes open up. They're like, yo, I'm like, yo, hold on, man. I said, they got better down the street. And these dudes are going up, yo. And I'm holding in because I'm almost about to die, man. And then, like, we got to the end of that street. I said, should I take them down there? I said, nah. So we're walking, right? And and like this Eric L. And there's, everybody else who was with us, Kev L's bodyguard, all. And so we're walking. I said, yo, y'all know those are all dudes back there. They're like, what, motherfucker? I said, yeah, so they changed. So, okay, the brownies start kicking in. Now we go to the red light district. And we're like, yo, man, it's crazy. We had fun, right? Okay. So this dude comes up. Now, Eric, mind you, all of us are bugging out except Eric. Because he wasn't messing with that brownie shit. So we're all like having laughing fits, everything. We're all bugging out, and Eric's just looking at us. Right? So this dude comes up to us and starts messing with us, right? And Eric's like, yo, Rich, push that nigga in the canal, right? I said, I ain't doing that.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
So we started saying, suppose Eric grabbed my man's arm instead of him throwing the dude in the canal, suppose the dude throwing Eric in the canal.
Oh, shit.
So we're laughing, okay. So I said, yo, y'all want to go see a show? And they're like, yeah, right? So we going down. I know we got, because I've been there Amsterdam before. I get to I said, what do y'all want to see? Y'all want to see some real crazy shit? They're like, yeah. So we get in the joint, right? Now, mind you, there's seats lined up. So Eric and LL push all of us out of the way. And what are we gonna say? Because like, yo, those are the bosses and shit. So they in the front row, right? We're like, what the fuck? Right? So we're sitting in there. Next thing a show starts, right? They're like, yo, Rich, we'll give you $100 if you eat that banana. I get up, I snatched $100. I said, I'm not eating it all the way, but I'll eat it. So I took a bite and sat back down. So like, yo, everybody's like talking shit, right? So next thing, the main act comes out, right? Now this dude comes out, says, excuse me for this. It's like a gorilla, right? So he's dressed up like a gorilla, got this thing hanging out. Female comes out, they start doing their thing. And so the music starts going, Next thing the dude turns around and sprays some joint out of his thing. Oh. And it gets all on Eric and L.
Oh, hell no.
Yo, that nigga, it was funny because we were all hot, but them niggas were ready to kill the DJ, man.
What? Oh, hell no.
It was funny as hell, man. But that was a night, man. The next day we got up, and only thing we could do was laugh our asses off. I gave Ron his brownie, told him, don't eat that shit at night until it's nighttime, Ron. And when he ate that shit, that was after the show, the next day show, we didn't see Ron no more.
Wow.
Ron chilled out, man. But we had a ball, man. I mean, like, man. And just, like, yo, man, you got to think too, Mike Tyson was the heavyweight champion of the world at that, during like Eric and them's heyday.
Mm-hmm.
And like hanging out with him, who was a real nice dude, man. He had us, like, we were all at his 21st birthday party. Look, man, I mean, like, I got a picture of Mike at that party with Mike, with my arms around Mike. and people talk shit. I'm like, yo, motherfuckers, look at this. I was there with this dude. We were with Mike Tyson the night he punched we had Dapper Dance. Dude started getting fly with him. Mitch Green, Mike Tyson punched that motherfucker right in the jaw, man. And we all there. Oh shit. Yep. And then we kept it moving, man. Yo, man, man. And I'm telling you, right? The thing about it is, fucking Eric, man. He fucking like took me out there with him, right? And we had a ball, man. Like twice I went with him. It's just me and him and his friend. We went to London, right? Okay. And that dude, George Michael, was having he was coming back and he was starting his Faith tour, right? And I was dealing with this girl over in London named Julie. And first off, we get to the Remedian Hotel, right? And they give us our keys to the room. I'm like, what the fuck? We in Piccadilly Square. I'm like, yo, I've only read about this shit. Yo, I get to my hotel room. I'm like, what the fuck? It was a mini suite, and you should have seen Eric's fucking room. I'm like, you gotta be bullshit. I call him up, yo. Next thing, somebody's knocking at my door. A bottle of fucking champagne. What? Yo, right? So I called Julie up. I said, listen, you want to go to this show tonight? And she's like, yeah. I said, it's George Michael's, right? I said, you gotta be at the hotel. So okay. She gets to the hotel. We hook up with Eric and his friend. We get downstairs. We got our own bodyguard, our fucking own, like damn near. It's like let's say like a Maybach or whatever. And the dude is like our bodyguard for the night. We get in the joint. We get there, and the girl Julie's like, we're going back where they got the backstage at, Rich. I said, yeah. Where the fuck do you think we're going to do? You thought we had tickets for this shit? Right? So we get in the joint, right? And as we walk in, right, I'm looking around and the chick is like grabbing my arm. Oh shit, that's Sting right there. And his wife, dude. I'm like, what? Who? And she's pointing out all of these motherfuckers. Elton John, and this is crazy because we're backstage with George Michael's crew over from in London. So you got Naomi Campbell, all of them people, man. All them people that you would think would show up, models, all, and this chick is grabbing my arm. She's digging me in the arm, like, yo, Rich. And she's pointing out, then the dude, George Michael, comes out and he does that favorite shit. And we're backstage looking at it, and it was amazing, man. Needless to say, that night, man, it was one of the best nights I ever had.
All right.
Yeah, Julie hooked me up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hooked up.
1 second, y'all.
All right. Oh man, you could just go back in time, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. If that time machine was the deal, man. Crazy, right? Man. I mean, like,
if you just go back. And let me ask you, how did you feel about when you first found out that Eric and Ra was getting back together for the reunion?
Yo, I was so happy, man. Because like there were so many people out there saying stuff that Eric has said, and you know, like, not saying that Eric tells me everything, but like there were people like saying shit that Eric didn't say, man. I mean, you know, like, and I was just so happy that they got back together, because out of that whole deal, right? And I'll be honest with you, I never heard Eric say one bad thing about Rakim, never. And people were telling me shit, and I was like, you know what? I said, first off, he ain't a dude like that. He's not a dude that's gonna like say shit behind your back, you know, like even roll with that type of stuff. It's hard to come to Eric. It's hard because his father raised them dudes right. If Anthony rests in peace, it's hard to come to those barrier brothers and say that they said something about somebody behind their back, because them niggas didn't do that shit. And I can say that about, you know, a lot of people that were Eric's friends. Those guys, that was one thing about it. Like the dude Supreme, all them dudes, man. I never heard them guys like
I never. Okay, let's put it this way. I've never been around Eric and his boys that he rolled with. I never heard them like backbiting anybody. Them dudes just didn't get down like that. They just didn't like, yo, man. If they had a beef with you or whatever, they didn't like. I don't know, and that's another. I don't know if these niggas like Eric ever had like a true beef with anybody, because he don't get down like that. I mean, he just if he's not gonna fuck with you, he's just not gonna fuck with you. But he's not gonna come up and shake your hand and stuff like that, and then as soon as you walk away, that motherfucker Eric doesn't do shit like that. Nope. And I never known none of them dudes when we were on the road like that. That was the one thing that I admired about them. Like if there was a problem or whatever, even like, you know, they would say that shit out to your face, like, yo, dude, you fucking up or whatever. But there was never no shit like there was some conspiracy going on where they had to talk behind your back or something. Nah, them guys didn't get down like that. And get them back to Eric and them, get them back together. Yeah, I was happy. I was happy as a mug, man. Not for just for the purpose of like two dudes that, you know, like, man, where they really coulda and shoulda took it to a whole nother, like, you know, level before they had stopped being together. But they were able to come back and do their thing for a minute. Yep.
Right.
I was happy they were able to do that.
I have this picture of you see all of y'all?
Nope.
Barely.
Put it to you. Put it to you. Put it to you.
Oh, put it to me?
Like that. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Now you gotta make the picture bigger.
Hold on. The picture came out. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, I'll put it to me.
Now come closer.
Come closer.
Yeah, with you. Yeah, there you go. There you go. He's right there. I see him right there in the middle.
Can you see it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you remember what year that was?
Let me do it.
That was for the Follow the Leader back of the album cover.
All right.
I think that was 87 or 86.
All right.
I got it. Now you see you.
Yeah.
You see you?
Man.
There you go. Right.
86. All right.
Oh yeah. This picture right, yeah, man. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, y'all. There you go. Back in the day. There you go.
Right. That's it.
There you go. There everybody.
Yeah, man. And man, rest in peace, KB and Anthony. I can't remember that brother's name for nothing, but he was one of Rakim's boys, man. He was a good dude too. Yeah, man. And like I said, man, Quano, when he was a little dude, man. Oh, that was yeah. He still. I got love for my nephew. Yeah, Quano.
Right.
You actually met the real 50 Cent, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yeah.
I did. I seen the whole story. I seen the whole story on him. I mean, the 80s were the best time in hip hop to me too, because I was with a lot of them guys as well.
Yeah, and it was fun, man, because like everything, like I said, man, you know, there were times. Remember, they used to have what was that shit? Rap night at the Apollo, or
amateur night? Amateur night?
Yeah, amateur night at the Apollo. Yeah. That man, think about all the people that used to show that shit.
Yeah.
And then your man would come through before things happen, and he would buy the bar and shit like that.
And you know what? You are like a lot of people in hip hop that's behind the scenes that people don't know about.
Right. And you know something, man? I gotta tell you, right? I don't know if you know Hassan, but Hassan, he has a clothing line and all that shit. But he was another dude that was with Eric from the beginning, and me and him were only people who were really like like we had it in our mind to take pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we getting ready to go on the road, and usually I would take the pictures to get them developed, because this is when film was on rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And I entrusted this film to an asshole that was in our crew. That wasn't really, he was a hang-on. And I said, listen, man, do me a favor. go take, and it was over 50 rolls of film. Said, go take this film and get it developed. Just bring me the bill. Hold on to the bill until I come back. Don't you know? I don't know what this dude did with the film, but I was at, like, the guy stopped coming around because I told him I was going to fucking kill him, man. And
wow,
I'm talking about, no, you got to think about this. I had pictures from the time I had started with these dudes on the road. So you talk about a 17, 18-year-old Rakim, like a 20-year-old Jalil, all of that, the Houdini crew. I mean, you know, all of them guys were young dudes. And I'm talking about like behind the scenes, not on the stage and shit like that, not on the stage. I'm talking about us sitting down at the production joint, eating our food, all behind the scenes shit.
Wow.
And this idiot, like, whatever he did, but if we had those pictures, yo, we could have made a book out of it. Yeah, mad money.
That's a movie. That's a movie.
Yep. It was crazy, man. And like I said, me and Hassan, we were with Eric on every tour. And we actually drove this shit one time. From state to state. Drove like the equipment and everything. And man, we could tell you, man, we were in Detroit one time, right? And that Eric had some real good friends out in Detroit, man. I'm talking about good people, man. Money people, man. And we were at this chick's house, me and Hassan. We were spending the night there because we had to drive out. Eric and them had done their show and we had to leave because they were flying out the next day. And so me and Hassan are in the room, right? And, you know, my man is like playing around. He opens up a drawer, right? And in that drawer are bundles of fucking money. Me and him are looking at each other. I'm like, oh shit, right? And I'm like, yo, Haas, I'm about to be out, man. I said, yo, Haas, I'm about to retire, Haas. And he's like, yo, Rich, man, they'll kill homegirl, man. And I said, yo, and I said, they close that drawer, man. Close.
Oh shit! He said, I'm about to be out.
Yo, but it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But that's how it was out there, man. And like there were people that we would meet out on the road, and it would be insane, man. Like what? Yeah, man. Tell your man Eric that, you know, like yo, they would buy backstage passes from us just to meet Eric and stuff like that, man. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, but that was a highlight.
But that was a big hustle back then. Getting fans to pay to come see.
Yeah. People selling the backstage passes. I didn't do it much because, like, majority of the cities I went to, like a first time or something, I usually had somebody that I was dealing with in there, or like, you know, I was looking out for somebody. Because when we would go to Ohio, I was dating this chick who was like a parole officer. And it benefited me when I was out on the road with Kane and them, because I was explaining to Kane and them, we had a show on Sunday. And I was telling these dudes, like, yo, if y'all want liquor and champagne and all that shit, you got to get it, like beer, whatever. We got to get it today on Saturday because nothing is open on Sunday. Yo, lo and behold, these dudes come Sunday. Yo, Rich, yeah, you don't know nobody? I was like, I told y'all in Memphis this yesterday. I said, wait up, man. So I called up the chick that I was dealing with. And just on the strength of anything, I said, do you know any bootleggers? And she was like, yeah, I know a couple. She said, but what do you need? I said, like liquor and beer and stuff like that. She said, hold up. So she called me back. She said, yeah, you know, I'm gonna bring him over to the hotel. So she brings this dude over to the hotel, right? And he's an older gentleman. He's like in his 50s. I'm in my 20s. He's like, yeah, man, this for Big Daddy? I said, yeah. He said, well, if you get me 2 backstage passes, man, I'll hook y'all up. I was like, bet. He takes us to his joint, which is like a party store. And he got liquor and everything. He filled up shit, man. Yo, so that evening, Dude shows up with my girl, and he got his girl with him, who's about 19 years old.
Wow.
Give her the backstage passes. It didn't make a difference. Anytime Kane played in Ohio, Cleveland, brother man was there, man, with champagne and shit like that, man, looking out, man. Yep. Crazy, man. Mm-hmm.
We in 2022. Would you do anything in the music business right now?
Would I do anything?
Yeah.
I mean, nah. Like, you talk about to change it, or?
Yeah, to change it.
Oh, man. Man, it's so messed up now because, like, there's no more albums. There's no more CDs and stuff like that.
No more.
I would change it. Yeah.
No more, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that, you know, like people with the streaming and all of that, you know, I get it, but it takes out like the hands-on thing. It's like, you know, like somebody getting a CD, somebody making a mixtape and stuff like that. You know, that was the thing, man. Kid Capri with that shit, man. And everybody used to laugh at him, man. I used to be like, yo, man, yo, Rich, why you buying them tapes? I'd be like, hey, man, dude, this dude got all the shit you want. I used to hate when he used to shout out motherfuckers like, you know, like that. But Kid Capri has something, but all of that type of stuff is gone now, man. You know, God bless him. He was able to ride that train, too. Another good dude. Yeah.
He's doing his thing right now. He's still doing his thing.
You're good. Yeah. See, that's the thing. There were a bunch of people were able to parlay their stuff into, you know, things, man, which I'm happy about.
A lot of them didn't know the upcoming change.
Right.
They
didn't see it, man. They didn't see it. And with that music streaming stuff and everything else, man.
You're not prepared.
Now, you know, the money's totally different now. Everybody, like, if you can get in there, you're going to be making some money, man. That's the thing about it. And that's what's so crazy, man. You see these young boys, man, I'm like, I can't even remember this guy's name, but they were showing him buying some jewelry, which I would have told him, don't waste your money on that shit. Go buy an apartment building or something, man. You know, that shit, you know, like that's not going to do nothing for you because you're not going to be able to sell it for what you just paid for that shit.
Yeah. I made that mistake too.
but
my shit's old as hell. You know what I'm saying?
But look, man, your stuff is worth something. But these dudes, I mean, like, they're buying like the diamonds and all of that. That's cool. But like I said, man, like if I could tell them guys something like, hey, yo, man, I know what you're thinking. Your head might be in the same place I was in at one time, but life does go on, man. And like, you don't want to like be at 50 something years old looking back like, God damn, man, did I really need that motherfucking diamond encrusted boat?
Yeah.
That fucking sank.
Something we can use it.
I'm listening.
You know what I mean? Tamika?
Come here.
All right, so Rich, what are you doing now?
What am I doing right now at this moment?
No. You know,
outside of the music business.
Outside of the music business? Well, I'm actually affiliated with the Prince Hall Masons, and I'm, you know, doing my thing as far as cooking. You know, I'm an executive chef at Fort Washington State. And that's it, man. Trying to take care of my family and my granddaughter. That's it. Come here, man. Excuse me for 1 second, y'all.
Yeah, no problem.
Come here. Get out. Come here. Go.
Yeah, my cat do the same thing.
He's barking. Yeah, he's barking at my son and shit. I'm like, yo, go out. Yeah, fucking nuts. Yeah. I mean, and what's so crazy is my son is the one that picked him out. And he's barking at him like a fucking nut. Hey, Rich, hold on, bro. I'm on that Zoom meeting.
All right.
Yep.
So I see. Didn't you tell me before you was a chef?
Yeah. I'm executive chef. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I work at for a company called Axe Retirement. communities, and we're all over up and down the East Coast. They run retirement communities, which, like, the one thing about us Black people, we take care of our family all the way up into the end, up until we can. But these communities, if you can get in one at a decent price and afford like the payments every month, you know, we provide the meals, and they're in a safe environment. They have their own apartments and everything, and it's like moving into a retirement community. That's what it is. You know, they look out. It's a good deal. Yeah, you know, I don't do the thing in the restaurants no more. I got out of that a while ago because you never got weekends off. You never got weekends off. You didn't get no vacation either. Yeah, that's a whole different thing now. But you know, I ain't gonna complain. You know, like, I got my house. I'm talking about from sugar to shit to back to sugar. And like I said, you know, like, with Eric, that fucking ride that he took me on.
Oh, right.
Unbelievable, y'all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And let me tell you about little sis too, man. When the first time she ever came by the crib, right? Because I had seen her like up in Harlem and shit like that. You know, Eric would say hi to her and stuff. But the first time she shows up at the crib, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? So Eric's like, yo, whatever you do, watch out for her. That's little sis.
All right.
Watch out for her. That's our little sister. So you hear any dumb shit, the motherfuckers used to be like, yo, what? I used to be like, niggas, let me tell you something. I got the nine right up under that couch. Eric said to put one in anybody's head who fucking, like, don't even talk to her and her friends. Say hello and keep it fucking moving. Go inside. If you see them inside, they watching TV or whatever the fuck they doing inside, don't say nothing to them. Just, they're always welcome here. Am I right or wrong, sis? Y'all used to come by. I'm not saying, like, you
know
never
what?
got
That's
on
one thing
nobody's
I
nerves.
respect. Yeah, I was well respected because of Eric.
That's our little sister. Yep, that's our little sister. I mean, that to this day, that's right. I told him last night, I said, yo, man, I'm gonna be on little sister's podcast. He's like, yo, I said, you don't have no problem. He said, nah, that's sis, man, yo.
Oh,
so yeah. He's like, yeah,
you better get on here too. You hear that, Eric?
Yeah. Well, you know, you got to talk to him about that. You know, and he probably will bless you with a hook up. Yeah. You know, but because I mean, like I said, since I was telling you, Eric got a lot of, like, people don't know, but he has a lot of shit in the works, man. A lot of things, man.
Right.
And you know, a lot of that stuff is on the wrap. He ain't even letting me, you know, privy to what's going on. But I told him, man, I said, listen, man, if you do that fucking, like, that show that he's talking about, I said, man, you gotta let me be the old black guy that owns a restaurant and shit. Like, remember Hell Up in Harlem?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay.
You gotta let me live. You gotta let me live. That old black motherfucker yelling in the kitchen and shit.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Rich Levette, man, for coming on the review, man. Your stories is amazing.
A pleasure, an honor to have you.
Thank you. Yo, thank y'all, man. I love y'all. Peace and blessings, man. And thank y'all, man. And little sis, you take care. And, like, yo.
All right.
All right, y'all. Take it easy, man.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace.